Ladies and gentlemen, everybody tuned in, welcome back to Plate Stack Chat. Now, if you are listening to Plate Stack Chat, you won't have a clue that I'm all alone this evening. But if you're watching live, thank you very much. Or if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. I am R1. Fortunately, maybe for me, I don't know. Tom and Jason are not here this evening. Jason is still not feeling very well, and his wife Rochelle is not feeling great. So yeah, thoughts go out to the big man. We've got an event together in a couple of weeks, so hopefully he'll be fine and breezy for that. And Tom is on his way back from a long weekend with his family, which you can't begrudge either of them that. But as the title says, WOD a weekend. See what I did there. Yeah, welcome back. This weekend, huge weekend in the life of CrossFit in the UK and functional fitness. As we talked about last week, you might know that I was off to Battle for Middle Grounds at Trinity War North 2022. Which was held at the John Charles Arena in, or Centre for Sport, actually, John Charles Centre for Sport in Leeds, which was, it was so fun. 2 days of, of just such fun. It was honestly, it was brilliant. Also, this weekend at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, was the European Championships, which last week, I had some messages throughout the week saying, "Oh man, Sam, you're a bit negative towards. That wasn't my intention. It absolutely wasn't my intention. I want the European champs to do really well. It would be epic to have another massive event in the UK, like a huge one, big arena, big Coliseum type thing. That'd be absolutely amazing. But my questions were around the seats and just the admin around it and stuff. So it wasn't like, I wasn't like wishing it bad or anything. I just wanted to clear that up before we kind of get started. But I will we'll sort of weigh up both of those, and if anyone drops in the chat, we can say hi, and we'll just go for it, shall we? Let's get stuck in. I've got a couple of good news stories. I met a few people. I met some really cool people this weekend, actually. But let's start in Leeds at Battle for Middle Ground, Trinity War North 2022. I was on the microphone with Simba, which was fun. We started first thing Saturday morning. The workouts were so fun, especially after last week. Simba trolled. I gave him a slap for that, trolling me on pod last week. Just being a bit of a donut, but that was all right. We allowed it, and I gave him a slap, and that was okay. He found it funny, so that's all right, isn't it? Workout number one was sponsored by Compete Force. It was Firestorm, which was it was just a naughty workout, really. It was for the compete people. So there are two categories: compete, which is sort of RX-ish, and then throwdown, which is sort of not quite as RX-ish. But it was cool. And then there was a masters category for each one. First workout was 21. So it was a 10-meter worm lunge. Partner 1 and 2, it was 2-person worms, which I think is really cool. So 2-person worms, 10-meter worm lunge out from the start line, then 21 synchro burpees over the worm. And then for compete, it was 21 worm thrusters, then a 10-meter worm lunge back. That's pair 1 and 2, like player 1 and player 2. And then the player 2 and 3 went out. And then obviously the reps dropped. Well, not obviously, the reps dropped to 15. So it was basically a 21-15-9 with a 10-meter worm lunge out, and then going down 21-15-9 of synchro burpees over the worm, and worm thrusters for compete, and worm squats for the throwdown category. Meanwhile, whilst the pair work through the worm movements, the other athlete is building to max calories on the Concept 2 bike. So not only do you have to do burpees, which is just pretty horrendous from my view. You also working with a worm. I can't remember exactly how heavy the worms were. I think they were 70 kilos for males and maybe 50 for females, but that's unconfirmed. They were heavy. Okay. And there's a lot of reps there, so that was fun. And then they obviously switched, and once they'd finished the 21:15.9, there was all the time left that they could all jump and just roll through the Concept 2 bike. There was a 10-minute cap on that. That I don't know about you, but I find it hilarious when people get off the bike and then try and walk off, and there's just no legs left. Which was mega fun. Workout 2 was that was outside. That was disgusting. So in the arena in Leeds, the part of it is in the kind of gymnasium area. There's a big competition floor, but the other place is outside. Well, there are 3 actually, but we'll get to that soon. Outside on the athletics track. So for this, it was 3 rounds for time. It was 3 rounds for time, 15 devil's press. So for the compete, it was with 2 dumbbells, 22.5 and 15 respectively. And for the throwdown, it was a single dumbbell. It was 15 devil's press, then a 15-meter dumbbell overhead lunge, then 15 dumbbell snatch with a 15-meter dumbbell overhead lunge, and then a 15-meter for the throwdown. It was 15-meter wheelbarrow walk and then a sprint back. Which was hilarious. And that was one complete round. For the compete, it was the same workout, but at the end it was a handstand walk out and then a sprint back. That was a shouldery workout. People's shoulders were absolutely wrecked after that. Fortunately, it held out. That was all done on the grass. And you went from mat to mat. It was that I think that was a really nice event. Not too much work. It was a 12-minute cap on that. Again, like sort of a nice, short, snappy, let's get it done workout rather than sort of a long, grindy, beastie thing. Which I think is good. I think it was good. Workout three, right? It was a great workout, but I didn't really see any of the workout, although I was standing in the middle of the competition floor. All teams did partner 1. It was 3 rounds. You have 15 seconds to do 1 rep max snatch. Okay, and there were 12 lanes, and it was a bit like in the semi-finals, the lifting events, where it was like lanes 1 and lane 7 went, and then lanes 2 and lane 8. So essentially, it was 6 sort of goes round. So you had a minute and a half between each lift, which was really cool. Unless you're the guy saying 3, 2, 1, lift. Because I think in total, let's just do some quick maths. So I said that. So there were 50. I said it 54 times. Times 8. So 432 times. I said 3, 2, 1, lift. 3, like it was like 2 and a bit hours of that. It was horrendous, but it was fun nevertheless. And I signed up for it because I didn't trust Simba's attention span, quite honestly. So I found that was really fun. But the first round was a 1 rep max snatch. Then partner 2 did a 1 rep max clean and jerk, and then partner 3 or person 3 did a 1 rep max clean. Which was It got big. It got big. I can't remember who got the most. I think it was 150, 155 maybe, but I can't remember who it was. Because I was counting 3, 2, 1, lift. That was my job. Then that was the third workout of day one. Then the last workout of day one was a bit of a spicy one. It was shuttle runs. Now, I thought, oh, this is not too bad. It was 3 rounds, you go, I go, 12 times, 15-meter shuttle run. And then 3 rounds, you go, I go. So everyone did 12 15-meter shuttle runs, and then 8 15-meter shuttle runs, and then 4 15-meter shuttle runs. But at the shuttle turnaround point, athlete must complete 1 down up. So you sprint out to the far end, do your down up, jump up again, sprint back, and you do that. So you do 12 times first, and then the last time you'd run through, tag your partner, they'd carry on. So actually, all it was, there was a throwdown was a 7-minute time cap, and compete was a 6-minute time cap. And the throwdown, it was weird because it was only like 360 meters each. I think it worked out something like that, 360 meters each, which doesn't sound like a lot. And everyone could sort of run that, and they could probably run that in under 2 minutes, I'd imagine. But it just, for some reason, it was just like, it was great. It was great. Yeah, very good, that one. So everyone's legs by the end of day one were crushed. Then we moved on to, that was the end of day one. I went out for Mexican food. You know, why not? Went to me and the media team and I, because they were out. Yeah, that was really lovely as well. These are the things that you about competitions. Like, competitions are super fun, and being at them is fun, and competing is fun. I suppose I haven't competed at many comps, but one, in fact. So, but what you do around the competitions is great. So I ended up going out with Johnny and Laura and Nero and Dave, WOD, and Claire and Soph and Jay from Audible. And we went out for Mexican food. Great. You could sort of like decompress, relax, chat about the day, what went right, what went wrong, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, day one, brilliant. Everything went perfectly to time. We were just running like a dream. It was really good. I might be biased, but we genuinely did start on time and finish on time, and that for me, that's important. That's one of the most important things of a competition, and I think that is, yeah, it's a good thing. Day two, honestly, you could see people walking in. Now, there was a third arena at Balfour Middle Ground in Leeds. There was the swimming pool. Okay, and you could see people walking in the swimming pool in the morning, physically like a little bit anxious, a bit shaky, because the workout was announced. Now, the workout was a buy-in for throwdown. For throwdown and compete, the buy-in was a 100-meter brick push. Now, we talked about this a bit last week, but this was the one that Simba sort of trolled us on, but saying, oh, they've posted something. It was actually him that had posted it, donut. But anyway, it was a 100-meter brick push, and this brick weighed about 5 kilos. No, probably less than that, actually. Maybe 3 kilos. But they had to push it all the way along the floor. But Rick thought it'd be funny to get the guy to the demo guy to demo it, so that he was walking on the bottom of the pool and standing, so his head was under the water, and the brick was above the water. Oh, it was so funny. You see people's faces. Oh my gosh. But the buy-in was a 100-meter brick push. It was 25 out, 25 back, twice. And you could have any amount of people doing that. And then the throwdown was a 200-meter freestyle swim, and compete was a 300 meters freestyle swim. But you had to, and while the person is doing the freestyle swim, the team could complete rounds of dumbbell DT. Throwdown was 1 dumbbell, compete was 2 dumbbells. But you can't start your dumbbell DT until you've finished your brick push, which was savage. Brilliant, but savage. Good news, nobody drowned. So that was fun. Workout number 5. That was workout number 5, day 1 of workout 1 of day 2. Workout 6 was called Psycho, and that was sponsored by Wodable, my good mate Jay from Wodable. This one was a spicy one. I didn't get to see much of this because I was still in the pool. But the athletes have max, so they had just ski ergs, max ski erg calories. They've got 5 minutes, but athletes can only have 1 turn on the ski. So once you're finished on the ski, you can't get back on. So you had to really work out like how long. So like maybe there's, like me, I love a ski for ages. Love it. Absolutely love it. But there must come a point where like I'm really good at skiing for a certain amount of time and then I just drop off a cliff. So I guess you have to work out what that point is, which was super fun. Workout 7, Cyborg. This was 3 rounds of 6 D-ball. To be honest, this one was nobody was finishing this within the time cap. It was crazy. So much rowing. So much rowing. But it was really good. Nonetheless, because it was a bit like it wasn't anything like the capital workout of the games, but it was a bit like that in that everyone had to do it for the full period of time. So they didn't have to finish the workout, but they had to work. Everybody had to work solidly for 12 minutes, and everybody gave it their all for the whole 12 minutes, which actually I thought was quite an interesting one for the one before, like the penultimate one. But that was 3 rounds I go 6 D-ball for throwdown D-ball over the box at 60 kilos or 40 kilos, and then a 500 meter or 400 meter row. Then into 3 rounds of 6 D-ball over the box, 350 and 300 meter row, and then into 6 D-balls over the box, 200 meter row for everybody. And that was 3 rounds of each I go. So every person did 1 round each. But the compete was the D-ball cleans, and that was 6 D-ball cleans, sorry. Then a 600 meter row and a 500 meter row in the first round, into the same again with a 400 and a 350 row, then the same again and a 200 row. That's a disgusting amount of rowing. But they all went for it. And the last one, I loved it. New piece of equipment. This one was called Manhunter. And it was sponsored by Escape Fitness. And if you haven't checked them out, it's actually a really interesting company. They're reimagining functional training experience, one commercial and home gym at a time. So I'll hold this up. If you haven't seen it before, I will hold this up because it's on my Instagram, right? So this here, that there is what they used. So this is what we were talking about last week. It's like a wheelbarrow crossed with a sled, and it was pretty savage. Because all teams had to do a 400 meter run. So this was back outside on the track. They were all lined up next to the track. So they had to start in the grass, run out all the way around the track, all the way back, then pick up that thing. And it weighed, I can't remember exactly how much it weighed because they changed that last minute because it wasn't quite heavy enough. Or it was too light or something like that. Or it was too heavy, so it was changed ever so slightly. But they basically just went around with that, and it was it was. I don't know if you've ever watched a wheelbarrow race before, but interesting is what it was. So, just for those of you listening on the podcast, the Escape Fitness, what we're calling it, a barrow. I think it's called a barrow. They are, oh gosh, they're 35% off if you were there at the weekend. Crumbs, I should have picked myself one up. It basically was, it had two big sort of off-road wheels at the front. Then it came up and had two prongs sticking out the side so you could put weights on it. Then at the back, it was sort of in a bit of a sort of a U shape. They had the handles that you could lift it with, and they had handles on the top that you could push it with, because at the back, on the bottom, there was sort of skis underneath, so that you could push it, and that's what they did. So they did their 400-meter team run. They didn't have to stick as a team; they could start, and then the first person to get back picks up the weighted barrow, and they start jogging around the track with this barrow, taking it in turns. And then they'd get back to their lane, have to do a 25-meter sled push out and a 25-meter sled push back, and that was that. And those teams, honestly, they were rapid doing that. The time cap for it was like 9 minutes, and most people came in within 6.5 or 7, which I was pretty happy about. Funniest bit of that, JST Compete were there, and we were running really behind. Well, not I say really behind, like 20 minutes behind on the last workout, and then we sort of, because we finished within the cap, we were able to pick some of it up. But what we hadn't really realized is we'd actually picked up too much. I was looking at the wrong heat numbers, so we'd picked up. We were actually about 20 minutes ahead. So we were calling the teams for Heat 8, which was the last one that JST Compete were in, and we had a bit of time to play with, obviously. But one of the lads was still out by the car, so he's come running in like, "What did I miss? What did I miss?" I was like, "Oh, nothing, mate. We're a little bit ahead. Sorry about that." He was like, "I haven't even warmed up." I was like, "You just ran from the car." But yeah, that was super fun. What an amazing weekend. All the volunteers that I spoke to seemed to have a really good time. It was a long weekend. I'll be honest. Like the judges, we had enough judges, which was great, to fill all the lanes for every heat. Again, it's one of those calls. Like, if competitions won't continue to run or can't continue to run if people don't volunteer at them. So if you're a competitor and you've done a few competitions and you're thinking, oh, I might not do I'm only going to compete in a couple next year, then maybe take the time to volunteer at a couple. Give back to the community, because there are volunteers that do a whole bunch of volunteering at comps. That's for some people that's their thing, and they give up their weekends so that these events can be put on. So maybe think about doing that too, which would be cool. That was mega fun. Battle for Middle Ground, Trinity War North 2022. There will, I'm almost certain there'll be another one next year, because it is just so fun. Congratulations to, I'll give the congratulations because I need to open it up. There we go. Where's my podium? So I love the fact that some extra special shout outs. Throwdown females, girls just want to have fun. Sorry, girls just want to have run. Were the champions. The power buff girls, and we're in second, and Chalk Dirty to me were in third. They were real fun. I was yeah, they everybody in that category seems to have loads of fun. Again, the throwdown males, well done to the winners, CrossFit Leeds MTP, second place CrossFit RBR, and in third place with a pro wrestler from the WWE. If you haven't checked him out, he's the Primate on Instagram. That was the Battle Ready Army. The Throwdown Masters, females, Cirque du Soleils were the winners. Trainwreck were in second, and the Pandemic Masters were in third. And Throwdown Masters males, the Young Guns. So the Young Guns. So this is an interesting one. If any of you are into football, you may remember the one and only Ryan Taylor, ex-Newcastle player who had one of the best free kicks in the whole Premiership. honestly, the guy can smack a ball. But yeah, he was there, and his team were the young guns. They came first in the Throwdown Masters male category. In second was What You Talking About Willis, which I love, which I think was Dan Golding's team, and then the Apex Warriors in that one. Compete females. Were the winners were some people that I met for the first time there. The one and only Kate Warre. From Distinct Performance, they were the winners. In second place, fresh out of Forest Flow CrossFit. That was brilliant. It was nice to see. I met Robin Wright. I think she's the youngest member of CrossFit seminar staff, certainly in Europe. I want to say, unless someone's been taken on in the last few months. But she moved from Glasgow. She's moved to Forest Flow CrossFit to coach and train there. Keep an eye out for her in the future. She's kind of under the radar at the moment, but I think she's one to watch. And yeah, then the CFW girls came in third. Compete males, JST Compete were there. They took the title. In second place, Distinct Performance. Distinct Performance doing bits on the leaderboards. And in third place, it says Shake and Bake on there, but I think it was actually Shake and Bake 2.0. I announced them enough times to say that. And the Compete Masters males. Was there no Compete Masters female? That must have not been. Compete Masters males were Boys on Tour, were the winners. And then in second place were the Old Twats. I found out at the last workout that the Old Twats had been on Friday night. They were out on the Jaeger bombs. On Saturday night, they had about 7 or 8 pints each. So they were hanging on Sunday, and they still managed to come in second, which was brilliant. And in third place, Big Mac, Grand Mac, and Double Mac, no cheese. So there, that was an epic time. Go to the Battle for Middle Grounds Instagram page. They've just put up a big thank you to the volunteers and competitors and stuff. So go check them out. Now, the other competition that happened this weekend was the European Championships. Now, that was set to be some epic event. I wasn't there myself, but I have talked to a few people. I obviously wasn't there myself because I was about for Middle Ground, like 70 miles away or whatever. But there were some big names at that one. You had who did you have? On the women's side, you had people like Celia Gabbiani, you had Georgia Davenport, Emma Armstrong, Karis Webster, the one and only Crouchy, who I hope is listening. I was trying to get her on tonight, but she's spending time with her fiance. Like, who'd want to even do that? I love you, Matt. Jennifer Muir and Amy Kringle. So they're some of the women, the RX females. RX males was pretty stacked as well. People like Big Bron, Bronislav Olenkovic, Evander, Tom Watson. Here we go. Bron, yeah. Upis. Oh, you're laughing at your own spelling. Hi, Claire. It's lovely to have you in this evening. First comment at 8:29. Where have you been for 29 minutes? I thought you'd be picking me up all day long. But yeah, Mikey Steele was there. Who else? Richard Hill. A few of the other guys. Joseph. I can't forget Hurley. Joseph Hurley. Yeah, that was quite a stacked RX set of categories. Also, I'm going to jump down to the teen males because I watched a few of the teen males. Ben Cole was there. Oakley. So Ben Cole has been around for a little while. Oakley Lazenby, who was at Battle for Middle Ground Ragnarok, that I watched compete, was there this weekend, which was good. But yeah, they seem to have loads of fun. The guys here. I do want to give a big shout out to my buddy who was in the novice female category, the one and the only Rhea Doyle. She's been training for ages. She trains at the same gym as me, Bear Walden CrossFit. And yeah, she's been training for ages for this. She was stoked that she qualified. She was hoping for a podium, but wasn't assuming she would get a podium. But she ended up in 7th place, which, yeah, I guess when you've only got, there were only 10 people in that category. So when you've only got 10, you need to be coming in the top 3 to get obviously a top 3. You need to be coming top 3 every time because there's no one to sort of get in between you and the other places. So I imagine she will be stoked with that, and I'm sure that'll give her some fire in the belly for next year. Sorry, I'm looking up this way because my other monitor's up there, so I'm just checking what's going on. But the workouts, let's do. So there were lots and lots and lots of categories. I was scrolling all the way along the top. So at the European Champs, I believe there were 480 competitors, ranging categories of teen male and female, novice male and female, intermediate male and female, which there were, 40 competitors in each of those. Masters 35 plus, there were 20 of those, and 35 plus male and female. 40 plus, there were, it looks like 10 in each of those categories. Then there was 40 plus, that was 45 plus, there were 5 in each of male and female. 50 plus, there were 5 in each male and female. And then RX, there were lots 60 in the RX category. How am I doing this? Do I go back that way? And then there's teams, but I can't seem to. There we go. And then there were teams, which there were 40 teams as well. So there are lots and lots and lots of competitors there. Even the Power Rangers were there, according to the that's really funny, according to the leaderboard. But for workouts, we are going to look at we're going to look at the RX category. So RX, the first one. Now, Claire, you might have to pick me up on this because I've not got all of my facts on this one. I've heard bits here and there and stuff here and there, but it didn't seem like anyone had done any swimming. And I believe that was something to do with the water. I can't be 100% sure, but the trail run was definitely, so the written up is a 2K trail run, 2K TBA, 2K kayak, and a 200-meter swim. But from what I can gather, it was a 2K swim was cancelled due to algae. Yeah, that was what I heard. That was what I heard too. But it was, from what I can gather, there was no TBA, but they basically did a 2K trail run and a 2K kayak. And the TBA was the obstacle course. Of course, it was. Duh. But from what I can gather, the people that they kayaked 1K out, and it was like pretty sweet with the wind, with the so the wind was going in the same direction as the current. Got to the other end around the marker, like it's like paddling uphill into the wind. Like, oh gosh, I heard that was pretty grim. But winner of that event for the male was Moritz Newman. And for the females was, I believe, Amy Kringle. Yeah, it was Amy Kringle by about 30 seconds. Who came third on that one? And then by about another 30 seconds, Alexia Thompson. So first was Amy Kringle. Second was Andra Moistus. Yes, it was a stretcher run, wasn't it? So did they actually have to carry a team member on that one? Because that looked like a savage one, absolute savage workout. Were you there, Claire? I'm interested to know. Claire's in the comments. Stretcher runs for the teams. The TBA was the obstacle course, because it was, because we saw Carl jumping around, and they did have to carry their team members. I haven't seen any footage of that though. That's a bit. They've got some Insta footage. They've got teams assembled, but they haven't got much. If you go to the European Championships Instagram page, because they obviously had some very good media people there, because they got some great films, great vids, and just brilliant content. So yeah, that was workout number 1. WOD number 2 was the clean ladder. And it started for the RX men. It was 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 135, 40, 45, 150, and then pick a weight. That is a throwback to, I think, in 2018, did they do a clean ladder, which was something like that? I think it was about 50 seconds or so. I think they had 30 seconds with a 20-second changeover. Oh, Claire wasn't there. She was trying to keep on top of it for Rhea. Bless her. Yeah, it was a snatch ladder. I was there. I was watching it. I watched. I think maybe Mike Catris won that event in 2018. He certainly lifted heavy anyway. So that was a WOD number 2, and then that was it. WOD 3 and 4 were together. I believe that WOD 3 was a 2K assault bike. 4-time. This workout is to be performed inside of WOD 4 as part of the chipper event. So WOD 4 was the chipper event. So they clocked out, or they sort of bought in with a 2K assault bike. And then they this is the male. This is the female. 80 dubs, 40 thrusters at 42.5 and 30, 20 overbox burpees, 10 bar muscle ups, 1K row, 80 dubs, 40 thrusters, 20 overbox burpees, and 10 bar muscle ups. So WOD 3 was a 2K bike for time, and then WOD 4 is the full chipper. That looked savage. That is a naughty workout, and there was an 18-minute cap on that. Now, as we said earlier, there are a lot of competitors to get through that. Workout. And from what I can gather, it ran a bit. Well, from what I can gather, there was no running order. There was no running order for the day, which from what I can gather from various people's Instagram. So I was sort of looking around Instagram today, and came across Karis Webster, who said, spent most of the weekend clawing my way back up the leaderboard after discovering that I'm apparently not good at kayaking, with a winky face. Unfortunately, threw it all away in the last workout, where I died a very slow death of burpees and unexplained no reps. So what? What we'll do again? Let's go for the hook and tease. That was the hook. Bit of a tease. We'll move on to WOD number 5, which I believe. So that there were only 2 WODs on the Saturday. Well, essentially, that was. Yeah, there were only 2 WODs on the Saturday. Whereas there should have been 3. Yeah, so there was WOD 1 on the Friday, then WOD 2, then WOD 3 and 4, which were together, and then WOD 5 on the Sunday morning, and then a cut to the final. Sorry, a semi-final final. And it was a bit of a difficult one, really, because from what I can gather, there wasn't quite enough time on the Saturday to fit all of the workouts in, so they had to drop one. And that seemed to from what I can gather from the messages from various people that were there, didn't go down vastly well. But let's be kind about it. To start with, that they've moved from essentially a sports hall, a big sports hall in Essex, to an arena where that sort of, it's just a big change. So if we're being kind about it, it's a big change. We'll read what Karis wrote. I mean, it's on Instagram, so it's obviously public knowledge. But WOD 5 anyway. WOD 5 was 50 toes to bar, 40 overhead squats, and a 30-meter handstand walk for the elites. For variations were leg raises, overhead squats, and dumbbell overhead walking lunge. Team was overhead squats, and masters were overhead squats at a slightly lighter weight. And again for novice were overhead squats at a lighter weight. Then semi-final was, this looked like a really fun workout. The videos of it look great. The semi-final was 5 legless rope climbs, 10 pistols each leg, and then 1 lap with a bag. Now that lap is a sandbag, and it looked like a fairly heavy sandbag. So then it went to 3 legless rope climbs, 10 pistols each leg, and 1 lap with the sandbag, and then 1 legless rope climb, 10 pistols, 1 lap with the bag, and then collapse on the floor. And that was a 15-minute time cap. And the final was sweet and simple. 21:59 power snatch at 42.5 and 30, and over bar burpees. For the novices, the power snatch was 35.25, and teens 35.25, and masters 50 plus was 35.25. But the rest of them are 42.5 and 30. Now on the whole of it, looked brilliant. Winners, well, the podium for it was, and I tried to get on the podcast tonight, but spending time with family, the one and only from the team training program, in 3rd place for the ladies, Nicole Crouch. Well done, girl. Then in 2nd place, and I think this young lady is certainly one to watch in the future, Jennifer Muir of CrossFit Kirkintilloch. And then in 1st place, did she come outside of the top 10? I don't think she did. She came 10th in the final, but she didn't come outside the top 10 all weekend, was Amy Kringle from CrossFit Isle of Man. And for the RX males, in 3rd place as an independent, Evander Harewood. Well done, the lad. In 2nd place from CrossFit Devil's Path, Tom Watson. And 1st place as an independent, Aldis Upnix, who again didn't come outside of the top 10. In fact, didn't come lower than 9th in any workout, which was savage, really. Well done. Let's look at the teams. In the teams, we had in 3rd place CrossFit Kevlar. In 2nd place, Danham CrossFit Zeus. And in 1st place from CrossFit Bladen, Dauntless Underdogs. I'm just going to quickly scroll through the workouts they were slightly different for the teams. The chipper was different for the teams. It was double unders, power snatch, and pull-ups. And then synchro. Oh, were they synchro? That's savage. Synchro pull-ups. And synchro chest to bars, and then synchro bar muscle-ups, which was cool. Wow. Underdogs didn't come outside the top 10. Dauntless underdogs. I mean, if you're not with, how many were there? 40 teams. With 40 teams, if you're not coming outside the top 10, you're probably winning that. Probably winning that competition, aren't you? But it was, when you look at it like that, it sounds brilliant, looks brilliant. As I said, stumbled across a post from Karis Webster. Started off, spent most of the weekend clawing my way back up the leaderboard after discovering that I'm apparently not good at the kayaking. Unfortunately, threw it all away on the last workout where I died a very slow death of burpees and unexplained no reps. Where did you come, Karis? I'll be interested to see in that last workout. You came 18th. There must have only been 20 people doing that workout. Yeah. Although I'm disappointed with my overall result, there was definitely some positives. The clean ladder, which you came 6th overall, so you did all right. The clean ladder, which you came 4th with a 105. Jeez. Legless rope climbs, the fact that I actually felt like my fitness, that it was my fitness rather than my gymnastics that held me back for the first time. Way easier to fix. Perfect. She then says a huge thank you to all the volunteers and judges who managed to hold together what was the most shockingly bad organised competition I've ever been to. As athletes, we deserve better, and hopefully the organisers will learn from this and actually attempt to make some kind of schedule next year. Now, that was the comment that I have heard multiple times from multiple people. Now, that whilst that is annoying this year and not good this year, I've got you, Claire. I'm saving you. There's a comment. Claire's just made a comment, so I'll put that up shortly. But so while you look at it this year, and as I said, it's the first time they've moved out of the venue that they've been in for a very long time. They've moved into a bigger venue. They did run over so much that they had to cut a workout, and then from what I can gather, got athletes in earlier to then actually cut that workout and have them around for longer when they could have been doing other things or whatever. From what I can gather from people that I have spoken to. Another athlete who was there, I believe, let me just check. Yes, she was. Yes, she was. But glad the Masters aren't the only ones appalled at the poor management. I'm still calming down after wasting my entire long weekend to do 4 workouts in total. Then there's a bit of a conversation. Thank you. Yeah, it was ridiculous. Really hope they learn from it. And I think that's the takeaway from it, isn't it, really? I really hope that they learn from it. And this is not about trying to tear anyone down at all, because this is what Carl and the team were trying to do is no small feat. And I think that's what Claire's saying here. I think you have to look at it as someone who is really trying to give the community, as competitors of all levels and spectators, a real experience like the Coliseum vibe. And whilst I did reach out to Carl today, and I asked him to come on, and he just said that he was flat out busy, and I knew that would be the case, because he's still packing away. He was really kind about it too. He was really gracious. He just, what did he? Oh, paraphrase. Sorry, bro. I wrote him a message and I sent the link just in case he wanted to jump on. He said, sorry, bro, I would love to, but absolutely no chance with all the set down, etc. today too. Really appreciate the invite. I know that he's a busy guy, and I know that he's not a horrible person either, from what I can gather. I haven't spent loads of time with him, but he's not, from what I can gather, he's not a horrible person. So I hope that people don't get on his back too much about it. As a competition, there are obviously learning points from it, and there are obviously growing points from it. And to have athletes saying that about your competition, like Karis has not been to not many competitions. I haven't seen anyone openly write a status like that. Yeah, I've had, there are a few other little things in, and again, most of them are easily fixable. Like with a solid timetable, you can run to time. Like I get it, when if you don't put out a timetable, then you can't ever be running behind or ahead of time. Like you just, because, well, there is no timetable, so how can we be behind? But it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because you want it. I want it to be amazing. I want what you're saying, Claire, that Colosseum experience, that Colosseum vibe. I'm one of the MCs that MCs all around the UK. Like I was at Sid and stuff. Like I love it. I don't live for that, but it's it's one of the things that I enjoy most in my life. Is that vibe, that the way that feels to be out on the competition floor, be surrounded by people, be part of something that is just incredible and that people remember for years and years and years to come. And it seems like for some people, what they took away was the fact that they only did 4 workouts and got dropped. Workouts being dropped and being overrun and things like that. And I find it, I've tried to talk to people that I know will be constructive around it, because I knew that there were some rumblings and that I knew that there was a workout dropped, and I didn't really know why that was. I know 2 of the MCs at the event. I haven't met Omar before, but I've met Gus and I've met Stella, and I know that they're both, if you've been to a High Rocks event, you'll have seen Gus, and if you've been to, most events across the UK, you'll have seen Stella. Most events run to time, so I can't put my finger, and I know no one that I've spoken to can put my finger on the one thing that made them run not as they should have, apart from maybe the lack of a running order. You have a running order, you stick to it. That's how it goes. If you run 2 minutes ahead, you try and pull 2 minutes back somewhere. But I guess with the amount of heats that you're running, you've got 480 competitors. You're running that many heats. If you're behind by a minute in every heat, if you run 2 minutes, 3 minutes behind in every heat, I don't know how many heats they got, but I guess with that many categories, they're running. Well, they've only got 20 lanes, so there are teens are 1. Novices are another heat, so that's 1, 2, 3. There's probably 15, 20 heats. But yeah, it's real difficult, I guess. Yeah, Claire's back in the comments. I guess she says, you can cut the opportunities for novice, teens, and masters, and it just becomes a super elite comp, which she's saying would be a real shame. I think I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you at all. I think that strength and depth had a really good mix of the two, because they obviously ran the competition, the Community Cup competition, alongside the elite competition. So you bring in people, in the place for your elites, but you also have a space where you for the majority of the time, that's where your other, your novice athletes and your teens and your masters athletes sort of spend time, but then they come over onto the elite floor, into the Colosseum, and they make it their own, and you fill it with people, and that's where I think that's where I think it's going. I think Ollie and Megan at Strength and Depth, and maybe call me brown nose, whatever. I love Ollie and Megan, even if they weren't running Strength and Depth, so whatever. But I think they had a really good mix, and I think that CrossFit saw that they had a really good mix there, and I think that you'll see more semi-finals or other, and things like the it wasn't quite the same, because they only had, I think they only had an RX event as well, but at the other European semi-final, which name was completely gone. I wouldn't say the French Throwdown, but it wasn't the French Throwdown. It was in oh my gosh, that's so bad. Can you tell I've had a long weekend? My voice is nearly gone. But yeah. But yeah, I think that's the way that big competitions that want to be big, that want to have that real Lowlands Throwdown. Thank you, Claire. That's how I want to be. I think that's the way that those competitions are going to need to go. If they want to make enough money, because also the whole idea of making money, you need the big names to get the big sponsors, to get the big venues, but you also need the volume of competitors to also make money, right? So like something like High Rocks makes loads of money because they have loads of competitors. They have like 4,000, 5,000 competitors, all paying £50 to £100 each. That is what pays for your venues and pays for all your cool stuff and pays for your offsite stuff and all those things. But you also, yeah, as Claire said, and I loved it as Sid, going and watching the teams, the Community Cup teams and the Masters. Absolutely loved it. Seeing those. So yeah, hopefully Carl said that he'll come on another time and have a chat with us. So hopefully we'll get him on and we can try and maybe dissect a little bit about what's happened there. Jason's just released another video today, I believe, about Tia, who everyone was wearing their shoes at the games apparently. But I think that probably brings us to the end of the plate stack tonight. Sorry there's no Jason or Tom or a guest. Everyone is crossfitted or functional fitnessed out this weekend. But I really enjoyed it. I hope you did too. If you want to catch us live, we're live on a Monday, 8 p.m. On YouTube, and it will come out at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, Tuesday. If you want to follow us on Instagram, the Instagram handle is plate.stack.chat. I'm Sam. On Instagram, I'm La Roche Original. Jason is Jason CF Media, and Tom is Chalking Fitness. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're all at various things that we've got coming up. Good job, Sam. Thanks, Claire. Things that we've got coming up. Where am I next? I am next up. Where even am I? On the 10th and 11th are the British Teens CrossFit licensed CrossFit British Teens and Masters Championships on the 10th and 11th of September. Jason and I will both be there. We are, as far as I'm aware, doing the live stream for the event, which hopefully will be epic. And then the 2 days after that, I am at the police. I can't remember what it's called, PS UK. But it's basically the police, all the police in the UK. Oh, Claire will be there too. Don't forget. If what would be really cool, and I think they did this at the games with like the Savant podcast and stuff, like we'll do a Plate Stack Chat meet up somewhere. So we'll do the week before, we'll go, right, we'll meet, or we'll go live on the night or something. Maybe we'll do that. I'm going to get Jason to do that. We'll go live on the Saturday night, shall we? Of the British Teams and Masters Champs on the 10th. But yeah, I'm at the Police CrossFit Throwdown, which is at CrossFit Dominus in Yorkshire. In York, I believe, in fact. Which is really cool actually, because all of the police, I was going to say departments, areas, forces, that's the one, have that have a CrossFit affiliate or nearby or train or just want to join in, can come and take part. And it's a big competition. There's going to be, I think there's about 40 teams, which will all be taking part. And yes, I'll be there. I think I'm doing scoring there. So that'll be interesting. And yeah, thank you very much for listening. I hope you come back and listen again. Bless you all. I've been Sam. You've been amazing. Take care. Bye-bye.